All right, so in this video, what we're going to be doing is reviewing the titration work that we did today in class. So whenever we have a titration problem, we know that we're going to use one particular formula. And that's the formula that I've written on the board here. MA times VA equals MB times VB. Now remember that each of these variables stands for something important. Both of the M's stand for molarity, or the amount of moles that you have in your solution. So that would be the amount of moles of your acid for A and the amount of moles of your base for B. Now on the other hand, both of the V's represent the volume. So that's just measured in milliliters. That's the volume of base you have and the volume of acid you have. In a given question, they're going to give you 3 of those things. And your first job is to simply identify what is what of the givens from the problem. After that, you'll identify what you need to solve for, you'll manipulate your equation, and then you'll plug in your givens. So in this particular question, we are looking at having a certain number of milliliters, we don't know the number of milliliters, of H2SO4 at this specific concentration. We're wondering how many milliliters are required to completely neutralize 40 milliliters of 0.1 molar CaOH. So the first thing I like to do is identify what's my acid, what's my base. Remember that your base ends with an OH. So here, I can label CaOH2 as my base. On the other hand, we know that something that starts with an H is an acid. So we can label H2SO4 as my acid. Now I have 2 numbers that go along with my base. I have 40 milliliters and I have 0.1 molar. We know that volume is measured in milliliters, so this 40 must be my VB. I'm going to write that in my given column. 40 is my VB, 40 milliliters. That means that this 0.1 M must go with my M down here. My molarity of my base is given to me and it's 0.1 molar. Finally, the molarity that's given to me for my acid is 0.2 molar. So again, I'm matching my acid here, the molarity, with my MA down here. So I'll just write in 0.20 molar for the molarity of my acid. So now that I know I have these 3 things, I can identify that the thing I'm missing is the volume of my acid. The thing I'm missing is the volume of my acid. That brings me to the make a plan column. In the make a plan column, all I have to do is rearrange this equation to get the volume of acid by itself. This is some simple algebra, but in order to do this, we're going to divide both sides by the molarity of my acid. That's going to allow me to cancel out the molarity of the acid from this side and allow me to isolate my volume of my acid. So the equation that I'm going to use is VA equals MB VB divided by MA. Now my final step is simply plugging in my givens into my make it happen column. So I'm going to copy down my equation, except this time I'm going to fill in the numbers. So my molarity of B I found over here is 0.1 molar. The volume of B we found over here is 40 milliliters. And we're going to divide all of that by the molarity of A, which is 0.2 molar. Now, if you plug this into your calculator, you'll get the volume of acid that is required to completely neutralize this base. Bring in that solution for tomorrow for 1 extra point, or 1 extra bonus question point.